Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. Wandered over to the beach today to watch the sunsets, take a few pictures, and was honestly thinking while I was here, is there anything out there that I can make a wrestling video about? I honestly really do like making wrestling videos here on YouTube. It's just sometimes here these days I don't really have anything to make videos about, and today's one of those days, and it got me thinking about AEW. I know I made a video about Double or Nothing when that show came up, because I had one guy on Twitter that just honestly kept asking me when I was going to make a review of it, and even though I didn't watch the entire show, wanted to give my thoughts about what was going on with the AEW and what I really thought they were going to do to compete with WWE. We've already known that AEW and TNT are going to be putting on some sort of a wrestling show. We heard, months ago that they had, tried to get a trademark for Tuesday Night Dynamite to take over Tuesday nights when it comes to wrestling, with SmackDown going to Fridays when the move to Fox comes in October. And it seems that as of right now, they're trying to get a trademark also for Wednesday Night Dynamite. I guess they were really sold on this Dynamite name for the show, because Dynamite sort of goes with Nitro. No matter what you do, there's always going to be comparisons between the AEW and WCW. And even though WCW went through horrible 2000, and it's debatable how bad 2001 was, but the writing was on the wall, that the company was down the drains. I honestly think there's a lot of pluses in WCW. I mean, really look at how WWE has been able to make money off of the WCW name. People love WCW. It doesn't matter what they really put out. People are going to buy it, whether it's a t-shirt or a DVD set or some sort of a documentary. People go crazy for it, and they really clamor for it. You can see people still think of Sting versus Triple H, that the wrong guy went over at WrestleMania 31. People think about Goldberg versus Undertaker at the Showdown, and a lot of people drew comparisons that when Goldberg came out and they said that he was the face of WCW during the Monday Night Wars, that people already knew that Undertaker was going to win the match. My thoughts about AEW getting their show on TNT and what they do to need to make the show a success. As of right now, AEW has a pretty good roster. They got a lot of people, it seems like, even day by day right now. They're still sort of adding people to it. Honestly, I think that you need to sort of draw a cap on who you're putting under contract. You don't want to sort of have too many guys that you don't have enough show to honestly sort of feature, even if these people aren't really full-time on the roster. You want to be spending enough time with guys like Ambrose, Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, people that are going to be, making people really draw in to watch the show. You want to be able to draw times, and, unless you just have them as the elite, come out there as some sort of a clique or a group, some sort of faction. I mean, if you're going to think that all of those guys have to sort of have their own segment somewhere along in the show, I mean, you're already booking up a good hour as it is right there. The best thing that I think AEW can do coming out of the gates with their new television show is try to limit that show to as the least amount of time that they can. A 1-hour show in wrestling, I think, is probably the best thing going today. TNT, more than likely, is probably going to want to fill a 2-hour block. And that, it is what it is. But I honestly think even if you can, negotiate it down to an hour and a half, that would probably be the best thing. Coming out of the gates with a 3-hour show to compete with what Raw and what SmackDown does. You're not running a football game or a basketball game. This is a wrestling show. It's not a sporting event. I know that people say that that's how long, a football game normally lasts on Fox or something like that, but you don't have to put yourself in that box. I think that honestly, being able to put the best wrestling that there is out there and not have to have matches that people can really look at and say that they're just trying to fill a segment and what is going on in the ring doesn't really matter. That, to me, honestly, is one of the best things that they can do out of the gate for their shows. Definitely, having guys like Moxley, Jericho, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, These are things that people are going to want to see. Definitely in the last year to 2 years, you've been able to see these guys really be the faces of professional wrestling, and you can definitely see the hit that Ring of Honor is taking right now with the shows that they're running in Baltimore. That not having these faces is really hurting the company as of right now, and they're not really able to move tickets the way they once were. So best of luck to AEW. I'm not saying that this is going to be faltering out of the gate, but I think for the best case scenario, keep that show honestly as short as you can.